Governor Wes Moore from Maryland, thank you so much for joining us live from Chicago from the DNC. Let's get right to it. I know there is a full list of speakers at this week's convention. That list has not been publicly announced just yet, but we all know that your name is out there. So will you be speaking? And if you do, what will be your message to those watching?
I will be speaking. I'm excited to speak, and our message is the importance of service. That each and every one of us are going to have a solemn and an important responsibility to make our country great, and that Vice President Harris and also Governor Walz have a unique, not just vision for the future of this country, but also have a unique history of service, and that their service has been not selfish, but their service has been selfless, and it's been to the benefit of all of us. And so in this moment, when we have to reclaim patriotism, in this moment where we have a unique opportunity to show that the thing that makes America unique and powerful is the fact that we have so many hands involved in our progress, that service will save us in this moment.
I want to talk about a new CBS poll just out prior to the convention. It shows a tight race between VP Harris and former President Trump, especially in 7 battleground states where things right now seem to be in a dead heat. Some argue one of the reasons the polls are tight is the newfound enthusiasm from Democratic voters since Harris entered the race. So how would you describe the vibe right now, and how do you believe Democrats need to do, or what do they need to do to maintain that momentum?
I'd say the vibe is palpable, and I think people are really excited, and they're not just excited about a fear of the alternative. They're excited about the vision that the vice president continues to offer. You know, a vision where we can ensure that economic opportunity, economic growth can be sustainable, and it can be inclusive. That it's a future where we can make sure that all of our children are getting the education that they need in order to help them to not just benefit, but also to win in this 21st century. A legacy where we can be safe in our neighborhoods and safe in our communities, and where the U.S. is respected around the world. So I think people are continuing to understand that we have only 79 days until Election Day, and as people are really beginning to tune in and center, I think they will continue to see that Vice President Harris and Governor Walz present a unique and a powerful vision for the future of this country.
Certainly there is a lot at stake and time is tight. Do you believe is it the message or the messenger, Vice President Harris, that's creating this energy that we're seeing amongst Democrats right now?
I think it's both. I think it's a message of joy, and it's a message of optimism, and it's a message that we can actually work together, Democrats and Republicans, people from all over the country, to be able to create a better country for all of us. And it's the messenger. It's looking at Vice President Harris and Governor Walz, you can say with all honesty and all sincerity that only in America could you have such a unique and a powerful combination of leaders who have come together in this moment to move us through this time of political divisiveness and vitriol. And they uniquely believe that divided we cannot win, but united we cannot lose. And that is the vision. That's the hope that I think they're bringing to this race, and that is getting people so excited.
Governor, we do want to talk about large-scale protests that we believe are planned on the streets of Chicago during this time. How do Democrats plan to balance the atmosphere inside and outside the convention?
No, I think we are a country that believes in free speech. It's one of the first values, and literally, when you're looking at the First Amendments within our Constitution, is the idea of a freedom of assembly and a freedom of speech. And so the people who are there to protest and make their voices heard, it's important that they know that their voices should be heard, and their voices will be heard. We also know that the safety of the people who are also here to participate in the convention, that also has to be paramount as well. That it's safety for both the protesters and safety for those who are here in attendance. And so we know these are really important issues, and these are really important issues that it's not just the administration has to wrestle with and deal with, but also that the Harris-Walz administration will have to wrestle with and deal with as well. People will have a chance to make their voices heard. They will know that at least here you have a party that is willing to hear those voices and hear those concerns and work with everybody to come with a long-term solution. But knowing that the safety of both the protesters and the people who are attending the convention is going to be of the utmost importance.
Governor, I want to pivot for a moment, if you don't mind, to your home state of Maryland. Saturday, in a speech to county leaders in Ocean City, you talked about the financial challenges ahead for the state and for the next budget. And you even reportedly said right now everything is on the table. Maryland is certainly not alone in this state. Have you had the opportunity to talk with Vice President Harris about these challenges that the state is facing and how the federal government might be able to help, if at all, should she be elected president?
Yes, I mean, these are longstanding conversations that we have had with the Biden-Harris administration on this, because we know that we know what we inherited. Where if you look at the state of Maryland, we've seen how our budget increased by over 70% in the 7 years before I became the governor. But in the same time period, the 7 years before I became the governor, our GDP, our economic growth, only increased by 3%. While the average state increased by 11%. So the economy that I inherited wasn't just stagnant, it had stalled. And so we had to be able to get our economy going again. And frankly, the capital that we had, the surplus that we had, was not real. It was just federal money that had come in post-COVID. So we had to find ways of starting growth and getting our economy moving in a sustainable fashion. That's why we've made historic investments in childcare to get people back into the workforce. It's why we've made historic investments in public education and really making sure that our students are prepared for both college and careers. And why Maryland now has amongst the lowest unemployment rates in the entire country. Maryland's unemployment rate right now is 2.8%, despite the fact when I was first inaugurated, we were ranked 43rd in the country in unemployment. But we've got to make sure we are keeping up the work. We have to make sure we are focusing on growth. We've got to make sure we're making it easier for businesses to be able to grow and thrive. We've got to make it easier for people to be able to enter into the workforce and making sure businesses stay in the state of Maryland. And we've got to be able to do all of those things at once. And so in this time and in this moment, we are telling people, when I say all options are on the table, we have to be led by data, not emotion, not political talking points. Data has got to lead us to a place where we're using our budget wisely to grow our economy and making sure that we're not leaving people behind in the process.
Governor, I know we're limited on time. We have about 3 minutes left. I do want to ask, though, nationally, the economy is still a major concern for Americans. What does Harris have to do to address people's concerns about the economy? And second question there, if I can, what does she stand for? A lot of folks, according to the CBS poll, said they don't really have a good grasp of what Vice President Harris stands for. One, what does she need to do about the economy? And two, what do you believe she stands for?
She stands with working families. And if you look, the proposals that she has pulled together are proposals that are able to help make our economy continue to grow, but also focusing on affordability for working families and making sure, as she has said, that taxes on families making under $400,000 will not be impacted at all. And so the thing that she's continued to push for is things like making sure that we can get people employed, focusing on workforce development, workforce training, the fact that we have historically low unemployment rates, particularly for African-American families in the African-American community, that we are actually addressing the issues of the wage gap and the wealth gap, that we're increasing wages for individuals. And she's talked about focusing on things like housing, as we've done here in the state of Maryland, where we just recently passed one of the most aggressive housing packages in the history of our state, because we want to create a greater sense of inventory and create a larger sense of an ownership society for people in our communities. So she stands with the American people. She stands with working families. She stands with making sure that we can make our everyday lives more affordable and making our everyday economic growth more sustainable. Those are the policies that she's pushing for, that this is about the working families and not policies that only benefit the billionaires or other people in our society who continue to benefit from the policies that we saw from the Trump administration.
All right, with that, I will say thank you so much for making time for us this evening. Governor Wes Moore, we understand you have a very busy schedule ahead. Thank you so much for carving in a little time for us. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you.